wherein a seat falls vacant. But for me, it had other meanings.
Yes.
And I would say that everyone in this book.
What if your darkest days were the beginning of your greatest success story? J.K. Rowling knows exactly what that feels like.
He raised the wand above his head, brought it swishing down through the dusty air.
Before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon, Rowling was a single mother living on welfare, struggling with depression and endless rejection.
It's different, it's contemporary, it's realistic, and I don't have the constraints of fantasy, by which I mean that.
But she didn't give up. Her story is a powerful reminder that even when life feels impossible, perseverance can turn pain into magic. In this video, we'll explore how J.K. Rowling went from rock bottom to becoming the richest author in the world.
Efforts, that is something on which to pride yourself, but poverty itself is romanticized only by.
Her journey isn't just inspiring, it's proof that success often comes from the hardest battles.
And my immediate impulse, and I've just been speaking to Max Joseph about this at my table, we were talking about the things that make you feel guilty.
J.K. Rowling was born in 1965 in Yate, Gloucestershire, England, to modest, working-class parents.
I literally think as soon as I realized.
Her childhood was far from easy. She grew up in a small house with few luxuries, but her family encouraged her curiosity and love for learning. Rowling spent hours reading books, escaping into imaginary worlds that would later inspire her own writing. Her relationship with her mother, Anne, was especially close, and she often shared her earliest stories with her. Although money was tight and life wasn't glamorous, Rowling's difficult upbringing taught her resilience, creativity, and the ability to find joy even in challenging circumstances. From an early age, Rowling showed an extraordinary talent for storytelling. At just 6 years old, she wrote her first story about a rabbit named Rabbit, which she proudly shared with her family. By age 11, she had already written a novel about 7 cursed diamonds. Writing wasn't just a hobby, it was her way of expressing herself and escaping reality. Even though she faced self-doubt, Rowling never stopped dreaming of becoming an author. Her imagination was her superpower, and these early stories were the foundation for what would later become one of the most beloved fictional worlds in history. Rowling's path after college was anything but smooth. After graduating from the University of Exeter, she took on various jobs, from working as a researcher to teaching English. None of them fulfilled her true passion, and she often felt stuck and uncertain about her future. Her early attempts at publishing were met with rejection, and self-doubt began to creep in. She described this period as a time when she constantly questioned if she was good enough to pursue her dream. But even during these struggles, Rowling kept writing, clinging to her belief that one day her stories would matter. In 1990, while on a delayed train from Manchester to London, Rowling's life changed forever. As the train sat stalled, the image of a young boy with messy black hair and glasses popped into her mind. She imagined him discovering he was a wizard and attending a magical school. By the time the train reached London, the foundation for Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone had been formed. Rowling didn't have a pen or paper, so she spent the journey creating the story entirely in her head. This single train ride gave birth to one of the most iconic book series ever written. The same year she conceived the idea for Harry Potter, Rowling's life was hit by tragedy. Her mother, Anne, died from complications of multiple sclerosis. This loss left Rowling devastated and struggling with depression. She later said that this pain influenced the themes of love, loss, and resilience that are central to the Harry Potter series. Writing became both her therapy and her escape during this difficult time. Despite her grief, she continued to develop the magical world of Hogwarts, channeling her emotions into characters and stories that would later resonate with millions around the world. In the early 1990s, Rowling moved to Portugal to teach English, hoping for a fresh start. While there, she met and married a journalist, and they had a daughter, Jessica. But the marriage quickly fell apart, leaving Rowling as a single mother. Heartbroken and with few resources, she returned to the UK to live near her sister in Edinburgh, Scotland. This was one of the lowest points in her life. With no steady income, she struggled to provide for her daughter while also battling depression. Yet, during this time, Rowling began pouring all her energy into writing Harry Potter. Back in Scotland, Rowling found herself living on welfare to survive. She often wrote in cafes, bringing her baby daughter along because the warm environment helped her feel less isolated. She later admitted she was as poor as it's possible to be without being homeless. Despite the struggles, Rowling used her circumstances as motivation. She treated writing as her lifeline, working on Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone whenever she had a free moment. Her story during this period is proof that success doesn't always come from ideal conditions. It often begins in the most challenging and uncertain times.
Famous, and I never dreamt I would be famous. So I know, my fantasy of being a famous writer, and again, there's a slight disconnect with reality.
When Rowling finally finished her first manuscript, she faced rejection from 12 major publishers. Some didn't even bother to respond, but Rowling refused to give up. She believed in her story and kept sending it out until someone saw its potential. Her persistence eventually paid off when Bloomsbury, a small London-based publisher, agreed to take a chance on her book. Even then, the publisher suggested she get a day job because children's books don't make money. Rowling ignored that advice, holding on to her vision. Every no she received only made her more determined to succeed. When Bloomsbury published Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone in 1997, Rowling had no idea it would become a global phenomenon. The first print run was just 500 copies, many of which went to libraries. But word of mouth spread quickly, and soon Harry Potter became a hit. The book won awards and caught the attention of major publishers in the US, leading to a record-breaking deal with Scholastic. This moment changed everything for Rowling. Her dream of becoming a published author had not only come true, but was about to explode beyond anything she could have imagined. The Harry Potter series became a worldwide sensation, capturing readers of all ages. Over the years, the books have sold more than 500 million copies and have been translated into over 80 languages. The stories of friendship, courage, and magic resonated globally, creating a cultural movement unlike any other. The success led to blockbuster films, theme parks, and an entire generation growing up with Harry Potter as part of their lives.
That I write Harry Potter and doesn't know what Harry Potter is. And my 4-year-old, if you say, "What does mummy do?" he says, "Harry Potter!"
Rowling's ability to create a world that felt real, emotional, and timeless turned her books into more than just stories. They became a universal experience. The success of the Harry Potter books, films, and merchandise made J.K. Rowling the richest author in the world and one of the few writers to achieve billionaire status. But what sets her apart is how she uses her wealth to give back. Rowling has donated hundreds of millions to charities, particularly those focused on children and single parents. She often says that her wealth is less important than the fact that her books brought joy and hope to millions. Her journey from poverty to global success proves that storytelling, when fueled by passion and persistence, can change lives. Rowling's story is filled with lessons about resilience, perseverance, and the power of believing in yourself. She faced poverty, depression, rejection, and personal loss, but she never stopped writing. She teaches us that success often comes after countless failures, and that no situation is too hopeless if you keep moving forward.
It's a small town in the south of England, and yes, you're right, there's a good deal of conflict in there surrounding what we call the council estate.
Rowling's journey shows that even when the world says no, you must keep saying yes to your dreams. Her life is proof that the most powerful magic doesn't come from wands or spells. It comes from determination, imagination, and never giving up on what you love. J.K. Rowling's journey from living on welfare to becoming the richest author in the world is nothing short of magical. Her story is proof that dreams can come true even when life seems impossible. She turned pain into purpose and rejection into a global phenomenon that continues to inspire millions. If her story moved you, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Behind the Glory for more incredible journeys of people who refuse to give up. Your support keeps these inspiring stories alive and helps us bring you more tales of resilience and success.